Hello everyone, I am Mandira. Welcome to my channel Smart Thinker. Today I am going to discuss the chapter Born Again Arunima Sinha. From the title, you get an idea that the story is about Arunima Sinha. Yes, the story is about Arunima Sinha. Now, one question arises that who is Arunima Sinha? Okay, Arunima Sinha is an Indian mountain climber and a sportswoman. She is world's first female amputee to conquer Mount Everest and along with other mountains. Amputee means somebody whose one limb or more than one limb has been cut off by a surgical operation. Okay, it's very interesting, everyone, that in spite of being an amputee, she has climbed Mount Everest. She has climbed a mountain in spite of her disabilities, and she has become a very inspirational person for all of us. In this story, we will learn an unforgettable incident of Arunima Sinha's life that changed everything for her, and how she fights back, gathering her courage and hope, and becomes an inspirational person for all of us. And what is the story? We will learn that when we will read the story. So let's head to the story now. One step. Take one step at a time. Don't give up. Here Arunima Sinha is talking to herself. She is encouraging herself that one step. Let's take one step at a time. I think we should turn back. The slope is too difficult. The Sherpa's voice interrupted Arunima's thoughts as she took one painful step after another up the steep slope of Mount Everest. She turned to him. Then she heard, when she was gathering her courage, she heard a voice from her back calling her and saying that we need to go back now. I will not turn back. I will climb to the summit. Then she said she doesn't want to go back. She wants to climb and reach the topmost part of Mount Everest. The Sherpa knew it was useless to argue. The past few weeks had given him a glimpse of Arunima's willpower and determination. Then the Sherpa knew that it is useless to try to convince her that they should go back, because he had known that Arunima Sinha is very strong woman. She is a very strong woman. She can manage this situation, though the situation is very tough. The mountain loomed before them. As she continued the climb, Arunima's thoughts went back to the incident on 11th April 2011. It had changed her life completely. So the mountain was there. They were climbing the mountain, and before them everything was foggy. They couldn't see anything, and one thought came to Arunima Sinha's head. What was the thought? The incident, the unforgettable incident. What was the incident that had completely changed her life? So now we will read the story. That means the incident. Hand over your bag and gold chain now. She felt defenseless in the general compartment of the Padmavati Express traveling from Lucknow to Delhi. So few people, they said, hand over your bag and gold chain. So she was asked to hand over her bag and gold chain, and she felt defenseless in the general compartment of the Padmavati Express traveling from Lucknow to Delhi. Born and brought up in Ambikanagar in Uttar Pradesh, she was going to an examination to join the Central Industrial Security Force, CISF. Arunima looked at the attackers. Okay, so she was traveling from Lucknow to Delhi. Arunima Sinha was born and brought up in Ambikanagar in Uttar Pradesh. Okay, she was traveling from Lucknow to Delhi. There were a few robbers came and they asked everyone to hand over their precious things, and she was also asked to hand over her bag and gold chain. She looked at the attackers. Why should I give up the precious little that I have to these robbers? She thought. She clutched her bag tightly and moved away from the gang. The robbers tried to snatch her bag. She resisted and fought back, but she was overpowered. They pushed her out of the running train. So what happened? She was thinking, why should I give up my precious things to them? No, I will not give up. She thought that, okay, I will fight back, because she is a sportsman. When you are a sportsman, there's something called sportsman spirit, so they never accept their failure. So she decided, no, no, I will fight with the robbers, and she decided to run away or move away from the gang. But the robbers snatched her back, and they, when she resisted and fought back, they pushed her out of the running train. As she lay on the tracks, unable to move due to the severe injuries she received from her fall, another train from the opposite direction ran over her leg and she lost consciousness. So, what happened? When she was thrown out of the running train, she fell on the railway track and she was unable to move because there were severe injuries. She got severe injuries, and what happened? The worst thing happened when from the opposite direction another train came and ran over her leg, and she lost consciousness because of excessive pain. Locals rushed her to a hospital where the doctor had to amputate her left leg just below the knee to save her life. Okay, when the locals got to know about the incident, when they saw her lying on the railway track, locals, they rushed her to the hospital. They took her to the hospital where the doctor cut off her left leg below the knee to save, so that they can save her life. A week later, she was moved to the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, AIMS, where a Delhi based company provided her with an artificial leg free of cost. After 1 week of that incident, she was moved to AIMS, and there a private company provided her an artificial leg, a prosthetic leg, a false leg. Okay? Afterwards, what happened? It was during those long days of recovery at AIMS that Arunima first thought of achieving the most impossible task of climbing Mount Everest. So she was at AIMS, she was recovering, and then she thought of achieving something impossible. What is impossible? What the task is? She decided to climb Mount Everest. I mean, can you imagine a woman who has just lost her leg? She decides to climb a mountain. This is insane, right? Yes, but this is Arunima Sinha. When she wasn't struggling to walk using her artificial leg, she spent her time listening about mountaineering. So afterwards, when she learned to walk with her prosthetic leg, she spent her time listening about mountaineering. She wanted to learn more about mountaineering. Arunima loved reading about the challenges faced by climbers who had conquered Mount Everest. So afterwards, she loved to read about the challenges faced by the climbers who had conquered Mount Everest. That means she was gathering knowledge about the challenges when a climber climbs Mount Everest. As she has decided to climb Mount Everest, so she was preparing herself about all the information when a climber climbs Mount Everest. Okay, she had always loved sports. I told you earlier that she a sportsman spirit in her. She is a sportsman and had been a national volleyball player, and she is a national volleyball player as well. Now she dared to dream about climbing the highest mountain with her artificial leg. So now she has decided, now in her recovery period, she decided to climb Mount Everest. Afterwards, when she has decided to climb Mount Everest, she needed somebody who can train her, because without training she cannot climb Mount Everest, right? It's not as easy. So that is why Arunima summoned courage and met Bachendri Pal, the first Indian woman to climb Mount Everest, for advice. Afterwards, she decided that she would meet to Bachendri Pal. So she met Bachendri Pal. Who is Bachendri Pal? The first Indian woman to climb Mount Everest, for advice. She went to Bachendri Pal for advice. And Bachendri Pal is the first Indian woman to climb Mount Everest. So definitely she can help her some useful advice. Bachendri Pal told Arunima, Arunima, in this condition, you have made such a huge decision. Know that you have already conquered your inner Everest. Now you need to climb the mountain only to show the world that you are made of. Okay. When she met Bachendripal said, Arunima, you have decided to climb Mount Everest in this condition. It means that you have already conquered Mount Everest. You can definitely do the task, but you just need to show the world now. So, definitely, she accepted and she decided to give her training. Arunima, on receiving an encouraging response, Arunima signed up for training under Bachendripal at the Uttarkashi camp of the Tata Steel Adventure Foundation TSAF in 2012. And afterwards, when Bachendripal encouraged her so much, Arunima Sinha decided to start her training at the Uttarkashi camp of the Tata Steel Adventure Foundation. As part of her training, she had to climb smaller mountains, which included the island peak. When she started her training, as a part of her training, she had to climb smaller mountains, which included island peak and so many other small mountains. Because when you have determined to climb a mountain, and a mountain like Everest, then a well training is must need. So this much only in this video. The rest of the other part I'll discuss in the next video, where we will learn about her deadly experience of how Arunima Sinha climbed Mount Everest, what were the difficulties, and how she conquered Mount Everest and made India